We're back.
All right. Ooh,
we are
good volume.
back.
Okay.
2025. It is officially.
Dude, 2025. Okay. This is actually trippy because remember how we were talking about like 2024 was like a year of demolition? And I was like, and we're not done.
Yes. We're not done. And I remember saying, like, I could tell the energy shifting.
Yeah.
And here we are. LA's on fire.
Dude, seriously, it's like insane. I don't even know how to. I don't think I'm done processing. I don't even know if I've started processing, but it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Feel very disassociated.
Really?
Yeah. I think like for a while, my whole entire social media feeds were just all about the fire. And it was just like, I don't know, feeling helpless.
Yeah.
Like, I know I'm not particularly in the part of LA that is on fire. And at the same time, like, there's not much I can do about the fire. Obviously, I can support in other ways and, you know, check in with people and volunteer and donate and all that. But
yeah,
there's really not much.
I can't stop looking. Dude, I'm on Instagram all day long because it's pretty much news nowadays. Like looking at all the videos and I cannot stop. I think I experienced the same feeling of helplessness, well, my whole life. But also, like, it's funny because I had a friend who she probably and she probably still does this, but like she feeds the homeless, but like she does it on her own. Like I remember I was at her house and she was preparing like 100 hot dogs, and I was like, "What are you gonna do with those?" And she's like, "I'm gonna feed the homeless." And I was like, "Oh, like what organization are you gonna go with?" And she's like, "No, I just do it myself." And she does. I went with her. Like she fills up these like massive like shopping size bags with hot dogs, water, and we went out to Venice Beach, and she's just handing them out like nothing. And it's interesting because like what I noticed about her is that and I actually admire this about her. Like she doesn't change who she is given any circumstances or like who's in front of her. Like how she talked to the homeless people is how she talks to everybody. And I really admire that about her because I don't think I am that way. And I would like to be more of that. Of like, no, this is just who I am. And I show up this way everywhere. Like she's very, I guess, I don't want to say unaffected, like unaffected internally, but she's just, her energy is unaffected by whatever's showing up in front of her. Yeah. Because I had a hard time. Like I felt awkward. I felt like I don't know how to be in this situation. So it was really, really weird. And I remember trying to give this one guy a hot dog. He was like looking in the trash can, and I think I kind of scared him a little bit. And he turns around and I'm just like, "Would you like a hot dog and some water?" And he looked at me like he was terrified to take the hot dog. And I was like, "It's okay. Like, it's just a hot dog. Like, I'm not trying to poison you or anything." But he was like terrified. And I don't know, like, and this is probably because we're film addicts, right? But it's like, there's no shaking it off. Yeah. Like, I can try, and I do try, right? But like, there's no shaking it off. And like, I came home with it. And I remember asking her, like, how do you do that? And you're just okay after. And this was before I knew biotypes. And she was like, and she just said it so simply, like, I can't solve world hunger, but I can feed the homeless.
Mm.
And I was like, fuck, I need more of that.
Yeah.
Of like, I know I can't solve this massive world problem, but I can do something for my community.
Yeah.
Right? Like I can do something at a small level. And it's kind of like, I think we've even heard this in the space of transformation. Like you can't change the world, but you can go and impact your family.
Yeah.
Like I think I might have heard Ro say it this way, where it's like, change your world.
Yeah, I've definitely heard that on the podcast, on the Biotypical podcast.
Yeah.
Like you can't change the world, but you can change your world.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I try to think of it in that way, and I try to let that be enough.
Yeah.
Because, well, no, I'm not even going to say it's not enough, but like, I know that, I guess I just understand how affected we become by it. And it's like, how do you just let what you do be enough?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what gets me is the overwhelm. And it puts me in a state of like disassociation. Like I'm overwhelmed I don't even know how to feel about everything, and so I'm just gonna disassociate for a little bit.
Which I think is really common, actually.
Yeah, that's how I deal with a lot of my problems, unfortunately.
You're not alone. Okay, there's two things I want to share with you. It's actually funny we're having this conversation, because I was having this conversation with my sister and another person who's a virtual BYB graduate. But the first thing I want to say is, okay, well, let me say the second thing first. You know who, I'm probably going to say his name wrong, Joe Dispenza is?
Yes. Yeah, okay. The meditation guy.
He did this little TikTok series, and I don't know if it's old or new, but it's a little TikTok series about women's brains, I think, when they live alone. And in the video series, I think, did I send it to you?
No.
Okay, I'll send it to you. Oh, I sent it to my sister. Oh, okay, yeah. I sent it to my sister because for the first time, my sister has like been living on her own, like not with family, not with a partner. Like she's on her own, like independent, living by herself. And she's also a single mom who shares custody. But my sister's I think mid-30s, 34 maybe. And she was sharing with me, like we were talking about it a few weeks ago, and she's just like, because she did struggle at first, like a lot, but she's been in therapy, and it's been like, I don't know, several months now, and she was sharing with me how she's finally starting to like enjoy her own company and doing things on her own and like being with herself. Like she's finally starting to like really, really embrace it. And this has been like with the support of her therapist, who I think is amazing, and probably the first therapist that I think is amazing. But yeah, she's just in this space where like she's really learning to love her own company. And the Joe Dispenza series reminded me of that, because he says, like, I think he talks about like what happens to like women's brains and like their energy, and how when a woman lives alone, it increases her emotional intelligence because we're so used to having to adapt to the energy and feedback from everyone around us, right? Whether it's because you can just feel it, sense it, or because you have to take care of other people. Like we're always responding, right? Responding to someone else's energy. So when a woman lives alone, she finally has the capacity to listen to her own energy. And he says some other stuff, but it's like essentially this practice of like being with yourself, listening to yourself, like increases your emotional intelligence because you're allowed to be in this space where you can discern what's yours and what's not. And I forgot why I was bringing that up. Oh, because I think you were talking about like overwhelm.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Overwhelm. Like I had to go through that too, of like, you just get so overwhelmed. Oh, this is why I was bringing up COVID earlier, because I feel like I felt that a lot in COVID. And for me, it was number one, I'm overwhelmed by what I see.
Yeah.
Because it's very disturbing, right? I mean, to go into a grocery store and see empty shelves was like incredibly disturbing. So it's like I'm overwhelmed by what I see. But I'm also overwhelmed, and this has been my struggle for a long time. I'm overwhelmed by what I should do and who I should be in the moment. And for so long in my life, I've let other people dictate what that should look like. And I think COVID is the first time I paused to ask myself, what should this look like? And what came to me is I think for so long I tried to be a fighter, like externally, and I tried to be vocal, and that's not just that's it's not me. What is me is staying grounded and being a safe space for other people, right? Not trying to fight anybody's battles, especially for them.
Yeah.
But just being a space where people can feel safe and where like inviting them into a grounded, like healing, loving energy. That's my purpose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do it just through silence. Sometimes I do that through writing, coaching, right? But that's my purpose. And so like I'm with you in like the overwhelm of like, what do we do? What can we do? And it's like, what comes up for me is, checking in on people, just being like this healing energy wherever I go, because everything feels like chaos right now.
Yes.
And I don't want to contribute to more chaotic energy.
Absolutely. Nor be in chaotic energy.
Yeah.
Like being chaotic energy.
Mm-hmm.
Just because chaos is around you is not pleasant.
Yeah. And I feel like as phlegmatics, I don't know about you, but I feel like it's freaking hard sometimes
Definitely.
because we absorb so much.
Yeah.
So like, I think my practice that I want to get stronger in is being the eye of the storm. And that's who I am.
Yeah.
Whether people like it or not. Because I've been told a lot, like, why don't you speak up? Or like, how do you feel? You know? And I used to let that kind of force me into action or saying something, and I don't do that anymore.
That's not you.
We all got our jobs.
Yeah.
That's somebody else's job.
Everyone has a role. And you're like, that's not me.
That's not me.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people are on edge right now just because we're going to have some high winds again for the next couple of days.
Yes, we are.
Dude, it's so crazy. I drove to Redondo the other night and I looked across like the bay, and it's like normally you can see like just lights the whole way. And it's like you see lights up until Santa Monica. And then it's pitch black. Oh. It's like really, really, it's very eerie.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to get off social media.
Yeah.
Because I just could not look at the videos anymore. I just hit a point where I was like, this is not helping me. And it's not grounding me like we were talking about. And it's making me feel more overwhelmed than I am already. So I'm going to stop watching these.
And it's interesting because I love what is showing up in Grace right now.
Oh, do tell. Did you ever talk with Captain?
Not individually, but we had a huge breakdown. Like all of us as a group. And a lot, we had a weekly grounding call where where the facilitator was also there. And my first thought was like, fuck, we're in trouble, right? And but it wasn't that at all. And it ended up being a grounding call where everyone just spoke into what they were experiencing. And it was good. Because I was like, this is what I want to see. And, you know, when we were talking about like, I just want to like rip off the masks of transformation, right? I think part of that is like, and this is where, okay, so part of that is I want to go beyond the surface. Like that is my commitment. But then a few things come up for me because what I was reminded of in that grounding call, and this is something I get to work on, is like I struggle meeting people where they're at. But I know that's a me problem. Like, and that's what I envy about sanguines. Like sanguines got no problem meeting anybody. Like my friend with the homeless people, right? Just chatting it up like their coworker. Like, how do you do that?
Yeah.
You know? And it's like sanguines have no problem meeting people where they're at and having no judgments about that. And I would like to get there. Like, I would like to get there. I would love to grow in that way. So what came up for me in that grounding call was, number one, I love what's happening. And I love that as facilitators of this experience, I love that we are really getting to like the root of what we are experiencing right now. And then to, to add to the crisis, right? You have what's happening in Southern California right now. Like, I was just like, I love that this is happening. But then I was also reminded that I get to meet people where they're at and not have judgments about that. And that's a challenge for me. Like, and I think that contributed to the resistance that I was having with the captain and just kind of like the process in general is because I didn't want to meet people and this process where it was at. I wanted it to be where I wanted it to be at.
Yeah.
And I get to work on that. Ugh.
Fun stuff.
That's my false fire, I think.
Yeah, that's definitely false fire.
I hate when I'm reminded of these things.
So what does like what does how am I gonna word this? What does working through that and then becoming someone who can meet people where they're at look like?
Okay, what does that look like? It looks like frustration, because I get frustrated with myself because I realize I'm doing it again. You know? I don't know if that makes sense. Coming from like a false fire of like, right? Because false fires think that they know best. And or you hold on, like some words are like, some feelings are coming and I'm just trying to figure out how to like articulate this. It's like we see how we would do things differently, and it's okay to do things differently because this is who you are. And it's like, allow people to do things based on who they are, right? We all express ourselves differently.
Yeah.
And it's it's like, so what it looks like is remembering that and then allowing it.
Yeah.
Because like, don't try to control the experience, right? And I will say, like, I really acknowledge our captain because of what she's leading us through. We're all in breakdown for different reasons, right? Different things are coming up for all of us. We're all very strong personalities and biotypes. Our city is in crisis right now, and she's still showing up.
Yeah.
And it is easy to lead in times of peace, and it is very challenging to lead in times that are hard. And I really acknowledge her. And like, you know how we've been talking about witness?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what I was reminded of is like, be a witness to the process instead of trying to control it because I would do things a certain way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just be a witness to the process.
Mm-hmm. So that it's funny because last time we were talking about like the mask of transformation, and it's like, well, you were like thinking, oh, things have to be a certain way for the process.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, oh, that's kind of like your mask of transformation too, coming down.
Yeah, like I mean that's my like wanting to control and it's I guess that's like my wanting to control because I think I know better.
Mm.
I don't like saying that.
I mean, I think it's fair to say at least
Yeah.
at some point in our lives we think we know better than others.
Yeah. And it's funny because I do feel like you do see a lot of that when you have a lot of leaders together, right? Because it's like we're all leaders.
Yeah.
And we can all put our 2 cents in and want to take control. But that doesn't mean we should, right? Like, I am not the captain. I volunteered to be staff. And I need to honor that.
Yeah. And I think like I'm sure the captain would love to hear feedback and ideas. And at the same time, ultimately, it's her decision and how she wants to lead the team and the staff and the training. Yeah.
And I get to not be a brat about it. Because you know what? Being a lead and being like a leader is hard.
Yeah.
It's really freaking hard. And I think that's what I was reminded of at our last grounding call is like, it's really hard.
Yeah.
And I had to acknowledge her for that. Yep. It's easy when you're not the one that's in the hot seat.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
It's very easy to throw sticks and stones.
Yeah.
But when you're in there, it's a different story.
Yeah, but I'm glad to hear it's going well.
It is.
That's good. That's
excited.
Very good. I was just talking to some people about grace because...
Tell them to do it.
Oh, they're already in it. So
yes!
You're going to see them in there.
I'm excited.
Yeah, well, a situation happened with my friend and she was mentioning she's just frustrated. She's frustrated with she feels like she's always in a masculine role. And she's like, I shouldn't be dealing with masculine issues. And I asked her, I was like, what's a masculine issue?
Oh, good question.
I'm just trying to understand where she's coming from.
Yeah.
Like, and I forgot exactly how the conversation went. But in my head, I'm like, if you have a responsibility and it needs to be done, it needs to be done. It's not a masculine role. It's not a feminine role. It's just something that needs to get done. And in my mind, masculine and feminine are like ways of being.
Yeah.
So it's like you can get it done in a masculine way and you can get it done in a feminine way. But either way, it needs to get done. And so we kind of had like a little discussion about what she was talking about. And ultimately it ended up being she's just tired of doing things on her own. She's a single mom. She's been a single mom Her kids are older now, but you know, she's still single. And
are you talking about me?
No. But you would get along.
I was gonna say.
She's just tired of doing everything by herself.
Yeah.
And it was just an interesting conversation and interesting perspective to have with someone, because it was like, like, why did she think it was like a masculine feminine thing versus just like, you know, being alone, the frustration of being alone.
Well, kudos to you for kind of getting to like the root, right? Like digging a little bit
curious. Deeper. I was curious.
You know, I'm starting to wonder. Well, so okay, I'm starting to wonder if like masculine femininity is becoming like a little bit of a buzz topic.
It 100% is. Everyone loves to be like, oh, I just want to be in my feminine energy.
Yeah. Because it's funny because the facilitator kind of, I'll say it this way, but it's not what happened. She kind of got on me about she made me notice my need to separate the two, even though I didn't think that that's what I was doing. And even though, like, because they're not separate, right? Like, they're always dancing together.
Yes.
And the moment you try to separate them, that's when you start, like, that's actually when you create chaos. Right? Because they don't exist separately. I forgot where I was going with this. I don't know.
What is she getting on you about?
I think it's because you were saying how like people are like, I just want to be in my feminine or whatnot, right? Yeah. And it's like, I think part of that is understanding that the two coexist, right? And then understanding what each looks like and what each energy is meant to serve, right? So that's part of it. But I'm glad that you kind of dug a little bit deeper of like, no, she's just tired of being alone. You should invite her to the podcast.
I should.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, especially after doing Man Up Exposed, it's just made me really rethink everything. And it's like,
same.
Not everything is a masculine, feminine issue. And I feel like I'm going to speak for women. We love to blame the men. We love to blame that this is a man problem, masculine problem. And it's like, well, hold on. We also, like you said, you can't separate the two. We have both in us. So yes, sure, it may be a masculine problem, but that doesn't mean it's a men's problem. That's our own issue with our own masculinity.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
And yeah, I was just been thinking.
Yeah.
Been thinking about that one.
Yeah.
But then it made me think too, that I wanted to ask you, is that tied into, I guess, the relationship that we have with dad or mom at that point?
Oh gosh. You mean like how we oh gosh. Man.
Loaded question.
I think it's layered. Because I guess the first thing I think of is like, oh gosh. I wonder if we grow up with, well, I'm sorry. So much is happening in my head and I'm not getting it out. Because what I was going to say is like, I wonder if we even grow up learning, first of all, like masculinity and femininity and like what those mean. But then I was like, no, we don't. And then, gosh, and then like the parents is just a whole nother, it's just a whole nother layer to this.
Yeah.
Wait, what was your original question?
I don't even remember. We need to rewind this tape.
Too much is happening in my head right now.
I mean, I guess to talk about that, it's like I, in my household, saw the roles that my parents had.
Mm-hmm.
And
what did you think that those roles were growing up?
Well, in my household, my mom called all the shots.
Okay.
She made all the decisions. Mm-hmm. If I wanted something or wanted to go somewhere, anything at all. Mm-hmm. If I asked my dad, it would be go ask your mother.
Okay.
And there was no going around that. Like my mom made all the decisions.
Okay.
And my dad, he's just a very handy guy. Just anything that needed physically to be done, he was doing. Mm. And I feel like that was mostly it. Like my mom was like the mental doer and my dad was the physical doer. Physically does everything. Okay. I'm sure there were a lot of decisions made between the two of them together for the family that I didn't see. That were like behind closed doors, but that's what I saw on the outside at least.
So then, observing that, what did you decide a man's role is and what did you decide a woman's role is? Of course, not consciously.
Yes,
but
subconsciously.
Yeah,
subconsciously. I mean, just from how I've been operating up until like a year and a half ago, I feel like, and especially in relationship, I feel like I had to do everything and had to be responsible for everything. Decisions, plans, like anything relating to any family event, our calendar, any plans being made. It was like I was the one that was like in charge. I was the keeper.
Because that's what mom did.
And it got really tiring mentally for me. Yeah, really tiring, really draining.
And what was your dad's role? Like, what was a man's role in the relationship?
Jeez. Money, finances. My dad, I mean, my mom worked too, but I'm pretty sure a big chunk of our income was like from my dad. He worked at a really good company. And yeah. And that's kind of how my relationships were too.
Yeah.
Like
they provided
financially.
But who did you see lead?
Probably myself. Probably my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I am consciously not doing anymore. And moving into future relationships will not be doing anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes I wonder, like, God, because I think, and I've heard Rose say this, and I'm sure he said it in Spanish too. I mean, like, from what I can gather from like the little Spanish I can like read and understand, but it's like, I know we get frustrated because we don't feel like, we feel like men don't know how to lead, right? But then I guess one of the things that Man Up Exposed kind of helped me see is what could men also, like, what could men be frustrated with, right? It's like we're frustrated because they're not showing up powerfully, they're not leading, they're not calling the shots, they're not making decisions. But then what Man Up Exposed helped me see is, well, okay, while we're harping on them about this, what are they experiencing?
Yeah.
And are they growing up being shown how to be a leader? Are they growing up watching their father lead? And this is just a question.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I sense that the answer is no.
Yeah.
And this is part of why we have a masculinity crisis right now.
Yeah.
And so the first thing it makes me feel is, how can you expect something from them that they weren't taught?
Yeah.
That's the first thing it makes me think of. And then the second thing it makes me think of, and I think that this is one of the things that Ro was trying to help us understand and see, is how can we guide them and inspire them to lead through our femininity?
Yeah.
Because harping on them clearly isn't doing it.
No.
Telling them
Does
is
not work.
not going to work.
Does not work.
And so how do we move like water?
Yeah.
To inspire the leader out of them is one of the things that I got out of Man Up. Man Up Exposed. So it, yeah, it's, I feel like this is a challenge for women right now, because it's like you can't really complain about what you're not getting. So then how do you draw it out? Right? I don't really like it. I don't really feel like it's fair to just blame men, right?
Yeah.
Or blame masculinity, or, you know. But that's definitely one thing it made me think about.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it made me think about it, and like, just especially my brother, thinking about my brother, because we were raised in the same household. So I know he was watching seeing the same things I was, and on a subconscious level, learning the same things. And it also made me very scared, the training. It's like, because to be in the space that I want to be in and a relationship I want to be in, I will have to relinquish control of a lot of things, which I want to do, but at the same time is very frightening.
Why?
Because that's all I've known.
Yeah.
That's all I've known, and that's the only type of relationship I've been in.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that's going to feel like to me when I'm actually at a point where, you know, I'm dating someone and I'm like, oh, they're a masculine man.
Yeah.
Like, that's probably going to scare me. I'm probably going to want to run away.
Yeah. I wonder if I'll relate to it. And the reason I say that is because, and like this just popped into my head, so they have to be related. But one of the videos I saw on Instagram was like they look like they were like young guys, probably like college college kid age, and they were with their I'm assuming it was with their dad, but they're all like kind of like running around, not crazy, but just like very swiftly trying to like save their house. And you just, and I was looking at the video, and I mean, number one, I was like kind of like really inspired because it looked like they knew what they were doing. Just the way they were trying to like keep their property wet, right? Like it looked like they knew what they were doing. But at the same time, I got this feeling of like angst. Because if I just came across those guys randomly at a bar or what, like just in a place where you meet people and you mingle, I don't think I would even look at them, because I think I would judge them as douches, assholes, not relatable. It's just the feeling that I got. And yet here I am witnessing these guys, like, and they don't even look scared in the video. Like, they actually kind of look like excited. And so I wonder, and they looked excited, like a fuck yeah, let's fight this. And they were taking direction from their dad.
Yeah.
And we know that a person who knows how to be led, they have dad. So it kind of gave me a glimpse of those boys know how to be led. They have dad. Well, what will I even recognize a guy who has dad, or will I judge him? Like, will I even see him? Will I know how to interact with him? I don't know if I have that skill set.
Yeah.
How the fuck do you interact with that?
Girl, you're asking me?
How do you go talk to that?
I don't know.
So like, okay, you know how Ro would always talk about, like, he'd just play games in a bar of like, hey, if I can tell you how your relationship can work, or he would tell someone, oh, like, because, okay, if he automatically felt attracted to somebody,
he knew
what their trauma was.
Yeah.
What if it's the opposite? What if it's, I feel repelled by you, therefore, like, should I just practice this game to gather evidence of,
can
like,
you?
Okay, I'm judging you right now as like an egotistical prick. So you must have a really good relationship with your father.
Oh my gosh.
And you probably admire your father. Go to your father for advice. Trust his advice, and have a really strong group of men around you. Is that true?
Can you start doing that with people?
I think I need to, and I think this about you because I like want to judge you.
I'm gonna do that too.
Like, what? Like, we're doing the opposite.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna start doing that if I go outside.
I was gonna say, if I can manage to leave my house and look somewhat presentable,
because I'm kind of in hibernation mode. That's crazy. Actually, you know what is funny? Because as we know, as I've told you, I had downloaded Hinge, and I'm on the dating apps. There are some people, and the second I see their photos and their page, I'm like, no, this guy's probably like so full of himself. It's like, no, what if they just have a really good relationship with their mom and dad, or just dad?
Yes. And we don't know how to fit into that.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Dude, I really want to start doing like this opposite game now of like, I feel repelled by you. Therefore, you're probably the exact.
Is there anyone at the gym that you can practice this with?
That I feel repelled by?
Yeah, you don't have to say their name, but yeah.
Oh, let me think.
Because there's a few at the gym that I go to that I could definitely talk to. And you know what? I had interactions with them. I'm like, oh, actually, they seem like a really nice person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, no one is like sticking out to me right now. Yeah, no one's sticking out to me right now.
We're just gonna have to go like walk around a mall or something.
We are. We're gonna have to like leave our house on a Friday night when everyone is socializing. Oh, you know who came to my head? Wait, have we had this conversation about? No.
Wait,
no. I take it back.
I need to be caught up.
Back. The conversation about the person at work who I read and I was spot on, and he's like super smart.
No.
I think we did.
Did we?
Remember I was telling you about him? And he's like adopted.
Is he from the East Coast?
I don't think so.
No, he's from
Yeah.
the same office that you are?
Yeah, we'll have to edit this.
Wait,
we're like it was.
Wait,
like
was this before you switched to a new?
Yes.
This was before. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we did talk
dude,
about him.
He's totally someone I'd be like, ugh, you're full of yourself, aren't you?
You should talk to him.
Fuck. Oh, well, I kind of know his story now, though.
You guys talked at the part like the bonfire? No,
it was like another team engagement. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, this is gonna be a new game.
Ooh.
Oh my God. You know what? When I see a man that just looks like successful, and I think I would describe it as like a guy's guy.
Yeah.
I don't really know how else to put it, but like, you know, they look like a guy's guy.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to engage with them.
What's up, bro?
I know. I mean, I guess
that's not the way to go.
I guess the new game is just going to be like what I was saying, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how to engage with you. Therefore, you must be.
Well,
and see if our theory's right.
Is there anyone that you know that, like, you know now that you used to have that feeling about and don't anymore after talking to them or whatever?
Oh, I could think of somebody. We'll have to edit this.
Oh, he has so much mom and dad, I feel like.
Yeah, him.
Yeah.
I don't think he has mom, but dad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but dad, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's a controller?
I don't think he's a controller either, though. I think his promoter is definitely his person. His promoter is his personality, but he does not have vulnerability. Yeah.
Huh. I feel like he does.
You think so?
Yeah.
Maybe once you get past a certain point.
Maybe.
So yeah, he'd be someone where like before you're just like, you just don't pay attention to them. But I can see how I think that if you're like in his inner circle, like he truly cares about the people that are like in his inner circle.
Yes.
Yeah. I could see that 100% in him right now.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Huh. Interesting.
I know. Now I'm trying to think if I could think of anybody else.
Yeah.
Oh no, this is
a very dangerous game, and we should not be saying names on here.
I know, we're gonna have to edit this. It's a dangerous game. We have to go somewhere else.
I want to go out. I want to go out and talk to like people I don't know.
Okay, where would successful
anywhere on the west side,
like Santa Monica, Culver City?
Yes.
Then that's where we should go.
Because I feel like I judge people when I go there.
Okay. And
So
then that's
much.
where we need to go.
So much. And they're probably very nice people.
God.
Very nice people with dad.
How do we get out of our heads about this?
I'm going to need some liquid courage.
But see, when I have liquid courage, I like start slurring.
Oh, maybe not that much liquid courage.
Maybe I need like a mushroom or something.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
We could probably find that out there too. We could find both of those things out there.
Extra deodorant for sure. For sure. Oh my God. You know what? Okay. We're just going to have to be entirely different people. Like we have to like go out there with like new identities. Aliases.
Wigs. I'm going to find a new outfit.
Okay, who would be your alias?
Her name is going to be Jennifer.
Oh, okay.
Jen for short. My name's Jen.
What's my name? My first thought was just my middle name, Amber.
I like that.
Yeah.
Jen and Amber are going to hit the town.
Jen and Amber. That sounds like a future series.
You know what? If we went out and like interviewed people and stuff, we could definitely, I don't know, have fun with that. And
Amber. My name's Amber. Man, I really envy the fuck out of sanguines sometimes.
I mean, sure, they're great.
That sounded so convincing.
I just like, I don't know. Would I want to be sanguine though? No.
But I do envy them.
For some things, yes. Yes, I agree. Yeah. Yeah. No, like, I don't know. I think maybe now because within the last year, I feel like I'm able to embrace my promoter a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm like, do I want to? No, I don't want to be sanguine. I don't need to envy them. I can just like choose when I want to be a little promoter, and then I can go back into my analyzer shell when I want.
I struggle with promoter big time.
What about it, or just all of it?
All of it. It feels like work. It feels like work. Yep.
Interesting.
I know. We're going to need a reference. I'm going to need a reference. Like, hey, what would you do? What would you say?
Yeah. I mean, even before I started biotypes, BYB, any transformational work, I knew that I was so in my head, and there's a big reason I didn't drink for a while. And the big reason was I could not go into a social setting without needing a drink. And I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't think that's a good reason to drink. If I want to drink, it should be because I want to enjoy a drink, not because I need to let loose so I can be myself, or like, you know, do this so that I can be a fun person, because I know I'm a fun person.
Yeah.
So yeah, post all this work, I planned this trip to Croatia, Europe, solo trip, which is very nerve-wracking, but it was like, this is where I get to practice.
Dang.
Being out there by myself, making friends with people.
And you did.
Being in a situation where I don't know anyone at all.
Wow.
And just mingling, dancing. Because I went to like a music festival.
Yeah.
Dancing. I'm like, I don't know any of these people. This is actually kind of fun. Like,
I'm
never going to see them again. So I'm just going to do whatever.
Which is technically true here too, though.
It is true. I didn't need to go
to
Europe. But I think the idea of being somewhere
yeah,
where I can't just call up a friend to come pick me up in 10 minutes was like, I don't know, like I'm really out there.
Yeah.
I'm really out there by myself.
So I want to hear more about that. Like, how was that for you? And what did you learn about yourself?
I, for starters, learned that life is not that serious. It really isn't. And for however much I feel like or have felt in the past that people are judging me for what I'm wearing, what I look like, what I'm doing, literally no one is looking at you or concerned about you because they're just as equally concerned about themselves.
I know.
And yeah, just being, it was almost a month that I was gone on this trip. And it was a month of sitting with myself and also meeting new people and mingling.
Yeah.
That I was learning that like I could do anything. I really could. I can talk to anyone. I can go anywhere. I like in a country that they don't speak the same language as me. Yeah. I will be fine. Human connection is crazy. And
yeah,
I know how to connect with people.
I love that.
Yeah.
You know what my tarot cards told me this morning?
Oh, what did they say?
That I'm a boring bitch. That's how
I highly doubt there's a card that says boring bitch on there, but
it did. It did. It was the Emperor followed by 3 of Cups reverse, which was like the vibe I got was no fun, followed by the 9 of Swords, which is literally the analysis paralysis card.
Yeah.
Equals boring bitch.
So what you gonna do about it?
Cry. I was like, I know.
Not the answer I was looking for, but
it's like, gee, thanks, tarot. Thanks for the confirmation.
So we have to plan something fun.
We do. I need more fun in my life.
Yeah. You know, I do too.
Yeah.
I could always use more fun.
Okay. All right.
Life is not that serious.
It's really not.
And yes, I know on the trip I learned that, but when I hopped back into my daily life, it became serious again. And so I need a reminder every once in a while.
Okay. You know what else we need? We need an espresso martini night.
We
Taste
do.
testing. Girls' night.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Jen and Amber.
Jen and Amber
are going to have... Jen and Amber and friends are going to have an espresso martini night, and we're going to go out and we're going to interview men.
With a lot of dad.
Annoy us.
We're going to learn what men with a lot of dad look like.
This is going to be so fun.
Stay tuned for our findings.
Oh my gosh. I almost want like a POV camera of that. Like we should have like hidden hidden mics on us or something.
But okay, so I have a little pink mic. Like all we needed, why don't we just do it interview style?
We should.
Yeah.
We should.
All right.
I want to like record it too almost.
Okay.
If they'll let us.
I think people will. Okay,
what would we say? Would we just be like, we're running in an experiment?
Yeah, just be like, you know what?
Answer some questions.
Yeah, like I'm gathering some research because I want to find a masculine man. We're just going to be honest, Jolene. Oh I'm doing some research because I'm trying to find a masculine man and I need to ask you some questions. That's it.
Yeah.
It's so much easier said than done.
So much easier said than done. We're going to need some espresso martinis for sure.
Is that a song?
Easier said than done.
Espresso.
Oh, yeah. That's Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter.
Is it called Espresso Martini?
Not martini, just espresso.
Espresso.
Yeah, that's a catchy song.
It is a catchy song. I actually like Sabrina Carpenter.
I love
She's
her.
got some pretty catchy songs.
Yeah.
She's a little feisty, but I like it.
She is. I love her. Well, I don't know her, but I love the idea of her that I have in my head.
I like her songs. They're catchy.
Yeah.